Hey, Internet pals. It's your friend Jerry here, CEO of Fly Credit, and I'm back for I want to give my people with some excellent credit, some information today. I had some comments on some messages and comments on YouTube, some of my Facebook friends too, that were saying, Jerry, what about us? What about people that have good credit? What about for the people that are already working on your credit? You're wondering, well, what card should I get once I get there, right? What card should I get once I get to 720? Once I get to 850, what card should I get? So I've got some credit cards for y'all. We're going to talk about 5 credit cards that you should get if you have good or excellent credit. So if you've already been like, look, I've already got to 680. I've already got to 720, Jerry. I've already got to 740, Jerry. I'm already up there, but I don't have any credit cards. I don't have anything. What should I do? Well, we're going to talk about what you can do today so you can start getting some of the rewards, some of the perks that come along with having good credit. I was talking to a friend today, as a matter of fact, and he was telling me that he wanted to do so many amazing things with his business, and he has excellent credit. But when I pulled his credit report, I noticed he didn't have anything on there. And so, y'all, having credit cards is the first step to building exceptional credit. It's your first step to building relationships with banks so that you can show them, hey, I know how to use your money. I know how to manage it. I know how to get the plastic and grow my money team responsibly. And that's what having good credit is all about. Having good credit is all about showing bankers, showing banks, building those relationships and letting them know that you know how to manage some credit. So as you all are jumping in, just say hey. We're over here on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're over here in the university. So hey, everybody. So happy to see you all in here. As you are popping in, just say hello. Let me know your name and where you are tuning in from. Let me know your name and where you guys are tuning in from. We're going to talk about 5 of these amazing plastic besties that you're going to be able to get so that when you walk in the bank, I'm talking about bankers are going to make it rain in credit limits on you, okay? You'll be able to walk in there and say, hey, I need $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 credit limits, and you'll be able to get because you have the credit score to back it up. You have the reputation to back it up. And so I'm going to show you how you can leverage that today. So before we get started, if this is the first time you've ever been on one of our videos, then I want to just drop by and say hello. You know, my name is Jerry Tolliver, CEO of Fly Credit, where we help you have better credit, better opportunities, and a better lifestyle. Now, prior to me starting Fly Credit, I did have really bad credit scores. I had a 545 credit score, swimming in over $30,000 of credit card debt, and didn't know the first thing about how to improve my credit. And so I hired somebody, actually. It's funny. I hired somebody to help me with my credit. I paid that man $800. He didn't do nothing. He just disappeared off the face of the earth. And I guess he just forgot to help me with my credit. But long story short, I took lemons basically and turned it into lemonade. And I learned how to fix my own credit. I learned how to delete my own bad debt. I learned how to erase my own collections and restore my good name. And then I bought my first house shortly after. And I've been able to help thousands of people across the United States do the exact same thing. I took my scores from a 45 to a 765 in 8 months. And then I worked diligently about 4 years later to get myself to 850. And last year, I finally reached the pinnacle 850. So that's really, really exciting. But what's been more exciting is being able to leverage my great credit to build a money team that gives my family and my friends and people that we work with an opportunity to upgrade their lifestyle, get lower rates, get approved for whatever their little heart desires, and really just unlock the freedom that comes along with great credit. So let's get into it, y'all. Let's talk about 5 of these amazing credit cards that you can get if you already have good or excellent credit. So if you're ready for the first one, drop a 1 in the comments. If you're ready for the first card, drop a 1 in the comments. And let's see, which one do I want to start out with? Drop a 1 in the comments. Okay, I see y'all over there. Number 1. Okay, so I got ones. I've got one. So let's start off with this one, this bad boy, this baby right here. Oh, this is the American Express Platinum card, y'all. American Express Platinum. This is an amazing card, actually. Now, this card is really only for people that have excellent credit. You can only have excellent credit if you want this card. So I'm talking like 720, 740 and above. You could probably get away with 680, but for the most part, you're going to get yourself to 720 and above so you can get approved for this American Express Platinum. Now, the American Express Platinum does have a pretty hefty annual fee on it. I think it's like $5.95 or somewhere in that range. But it gives you an amazing, amazing opportunity to earn some points and rewards. In fact, actually, let me double check because they've actually changed the amount of points that you can get on the Platinum. Their what is it called? Their entry offer. Different offer when I signed up card. You'll be able to get 60,000 bonus points when you spend about, looks like $3,000. Actually, let me double check because this Platinum 60,000 points, it's about maybe 2 to 3 round trips, depending on where you're going, of course. Maybe if you're doing domestic, you could probably get about 2 to 3 round trips out of 60,000 points. 2, 3 if you're really good, but 2 if you're going domestic, maybe even if you're doing international. You'll be amazed at how many first class deals and flights and things that you can catch when you're flying international, when you're using your points. So you'll get 60,000 points when you make $5,000 in purchases in the first 3 months. Now, I teach people how they can hack this. So if you're like, well, I don't want to spend $5,000 on my credit card. I don't really know what I'm going to spend $5,000 on. Well, in 3 months, most people have $5,000 in home expenses or gas or things that they're already paying for, groceries. You can pay those things on your credit card and then just use the cash that you have and just pay the credit card off so that you don't have to pay any interest on it and you can rack up points fast. Now, the name of the game really, and I don't really suggest that you open cards and close them, is that when you open them, you really want to cash in on the bonus points. And this one gives a very, very hefty amount of bonus points. But remember, you can only get this card if you have about a 720 and above. That is the American Express Platinum. One of my favorite cards, actually. You get 5 times points on your travel. So if you book a flight through American Express, you get 5 times the points. So what does that mean, right? So if you spend $100 on American Express, then you'll get 500 points, so you get 5 times the points for every dollar that you spend, which is amazing, especially if you like to travel a lot. So this is one of my favorite cards that I use because I get so many points on things that I'm already spending on. Ready for number 2? Drop a 2 in the comments if you're ready for number 2. So let's go with, since we're already on American Express, this is the Blue Cash card. Alrighty, so the American Express Blue Cash card is great for somebody that's just getting started with building their money team, all right? And this is one of those cash back cards. So with cash back cards, you don't get points, you get cash back on purchases that you're already making. So if you're making purchases on, gas or supermarkets or groceries, or you're going to get cash back on those purchases, 1.5% back actually on all of your purchases. So this is a great card, American Express, great card for somebody that's really getting started with their excellent credit and they're wondering, well, where should I go? I've got great credit. What are the cards available for people that have great credit? One of the things that I think I had made a mistake on when I started building my money team was that I wasn't very strategic about the cards that I was applying for when I was applying for them. 4 years ago when I was just getting started, I didn't know the first thing about credit cards. At that point, I was just happy I was getting approved. So I was just going crazy, getting approved for card after card after card. And then I realized, well, there are cards out here that have amazing benefits that give you free stuff, points, rewards, free trips. Why don't I tap into those? In fact, the first time that I really realized it was when me and my mom had went on a trip to Hawaii like 2 years ago. And I paid for it using my credit card points. Well, the interesting thing was that's when I realized how powerful points and rewards were. I was using the cards just to use them, but I didn't realize the power of it all. And so being able to take my mom on a trip or go on a trip with my mother to Hawaii for free was pretty amazing because American Express paid for it. So this is a really good card if you want to do some cash back. This is a great card if you want to get travel points and rewards, because remember, if you spend $5,000 on it, you're going to get 60,000 points. Now, if you want to learn how to maximize travel points, you really need to check out our travel hacker course, because our travel hacker course teaches you how I've been able to take an average of 4 to 5 trips for free with my family at no cost to us. We use our credit card points. We've been to, oh my God, Cancun. We've been to, Hawaii. We've been to Costa Rica. We've been to Toronto. We've been to so many different places, and they were all for free because we use our credit cards. Since we're still on American Express, this is the American Express Gold. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, this is the business gold, but I do have a regular American Express Gold as well. Now, this also has an annual fee on it. I think this one is about $250 a year. But because I do a lot of traveling and I do make a lot of business expenses, I do like to use this card a lot because you get 2 times the points. So you really want to pay a really close attention to what you're going to get for money that you're already going to spend. You're already going to spend the money on gas. You're already going to spend the money on groceries. You're already going to spend the money on the bills. So you might as well get a reward out of it, right? You might as well leverage other people's money so that you can get more out of the deal. That's how you win the credit card game. And so the American Express Business is a great one if you're in business, but the American Express Gold is also great for consumers if you're looking for a great card to get approved for if you have good to excellent credit. So that's the American Express Gold. Yeah, ready for the 4th one? I love talking about credit cards. They make me happy. What makes me even happier is when my students, when they email us and they send us messages and they tell us about how they would have been approved for their first credit cards, or how they're just so excited because they thought that they were going to get denied. Because I remember how that felt. I remember feeling like that, where if I applied for a credit card, I was like shaking, crossing my fingers, saying a prayer, hoping that I was going to get the approval. Or when I did get denied, I would just give up because I didn't know any better. You can turn a denial into an approval, but if you don't know how, then you'll just never do it. You'll just be afraid. And so being able to just see people go from having bad credit to getting approved for their first credit card and just having excitement about that, it like warms my heart. But y'all, okay, I see some 4s in the comments. Cool. So let's talk about, this is the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Chase Freedom Unlimited. Now, the Chase Freedom Unlimited is really for people that do have excellent credit. So you'll mostly need about a 720, 740 and above to get approved for this card. A lot of people ask me about credit limits, or how much can I get approved for? But with credit limits, the limits that you get approved for is mainly based on what you already have reporting on your credit reports. So if you've never had a credit card before, you're mostly going to get like the minimum, which is like $500 to $1,000. And then the banks will be able to see, how can you manage that? Are you paying it late? Are you maxing it out? And if you are, you're less likely to get a higher limit. But if you're using it, paying it off, pay it off, then they'll be more likely to give you a higher limit. You should remember this, okay? Banks don't like to give money to people that need it, especially on credit cards. So with the Chase Freedom Unlimited, this bad boy, I actually don't think this one has an annual fee. I should probably double check that, but I'm not sure. I don't think the Chase Freedom Unlimited has an annual fee, but this one gives you 1.5% back on everything that you purchase as well. So this is a really good card for people that want to get their foot into Chase, because Chase has an amazing amount, like just a catalog of credit cards that you can choose from, that you can just get based on what your personal or your business goals are. But the thing is, though, they do have another card, a Chase Sapphire, that I have my eye on, but I can't get it because I'm in the 520. They have a 524 rule. If you don't know what the 524 rule is, what that really means is if you've gotten approved for 5 cards or more in the last 24 hours, you cannot get approved for a Chase card. Now, the thing is, they don't necessarily have that in writing, but in the credit community, that's what we call it, because that's usually how it works, with the exception of if you have a business credit card. You have a Chase business credit card that I had gotten, even though I was still within that 524 rule. But that's because it was a different type of card. It wasn't a consumer card. It was a business card. So it's a little different. But the Chase Freedom Unlimited, great card for good to excellent credit. Y'all ready for the last one? Let me see a 5 in the comments if you're ready for the last one. You get good information. Good. I'm glad you're getting good information. Alrighty. So let's talk about the fifth card. I see some 5s in the comments. The Venture One, the Capital One Venture. I like this. I like the Capital One Venture. Actually, this is the Venture One. They have a Venture and then they have a Venture One. I wanted the Venture, but I made a mistake and applied for the wrong card. So I got stuck with the Venture One. But the Venture One is still great because you get 1.5 points back on everything that you purchase. In most cases, most cards are going to stick you with like 1 point, but 1.5 to 2 points is pretty darn good. If you can get up to 5 points, that's even better, which is the reason why I like my American Express Platinum. Is getting 5 points back on even travel purchases is pretty amazing. But the Venture One, you'll be able to get some points. They also have, I'm pretty sure, intro reward. I think it's like 20. The Venture One has 20,000 bonus miles when you make $1,000 in purchases in the first 3 months. The Venture gives you 50,000 points, but you have to spend 3,000. But you can get 20,000 points when you spend $1,000 on the Venture One card. But this is really for people that have excellent credit as well. So you need about a 720, 740 and above to get this card. I've actually seen people that have bankruptcy on their credit that have gotten approved for this card because, unlike what most people think, they think that, they think that once they file bankruptcy, that it's over. Like, I can't get approved for anything else. I'm just going to give up on credit once I file for bankruptcy. But it's not like that, actually. Once you file for bankruptcy, it's a fresh start. It's not the end. It's actually the start of a new. So you can file bankruptcy and start rebuilding your credit immediately because you have no debt at that point, depending on what kind of bankruptcy you file. But the Venture One, all these cards, I've actually seen people that have had Chapter 7 bankruptcies on their credit reports get approved for these cards that have actually mentioned, with the exception of the American Express Platinum and the Gold. But y'all can start traveling. I'm talking traveling for free using these type of cards, but you really have to get yourself up to at least, good, excellent credit in order to take advantage of this. Having bad credit is expensive. Having bad credit is extremely expensive. You'll get stuck with the highest rates. You get denied for some of the most basic things. Not even having the confidence to be able to walk somewhere and get approved is kind of daunting on your spirit sometimes. And I know how that feels. And I've seen it time and time and time again. But what you should know is that you can change all of that. That no matter where you've been or no matter what you've been denied in the past, you can get approved in the future. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. Some people call it miracles. I don't know if I want to call it a miracle, but you can create your own miracles. You can go from having a bankruptcy. You can go from being a repo, being in foreclosure. You can go from all of that to turning it all around in just a matter of months once you get yourself educated. Because once you get to 720 and above, which is relatively easy to do. If you haven't caught any of my other videos, I talk all about how you can get an excellent credit score. So if you want to get yourself to 720 and above, you need to start working towards that, committing towards that, actually taking action towards that, steps towards that, researching towards that. That's what you should be doing, because you can have that if you actually want it. But too often, circumstances and our excuses and our reasons get in the way. I was talking to a woman today, and I knew she needed help, and I knew she really, really needed it. But the problem is she was still stuck in her excuses. Your excuses are the reason why you're still not where you want to be right now. And I hear it all the time. It's, well, why do I got to pay you to fix my credit if I could do it myself? Because if you could do it yourself, you would have done it already. If you could do it yourself, you wouldn't be in this position. We wouldn't be on the phone right now if you could do it yourself. Or it sounds like, well, I don't have that kind of money, or it's too expensive. Look, I don't know about you. All I know is when I had bad credit and when my clients and my students had bad credit, they were paying a whole lot more money for a whole lot less. So what do you really want? Do you want good credit? Do you want to get in the house? Do you want the lower rates? Like, what do you really want? Or do you want to keep making reasons? Do you want to keep coming up with excuses for why you're not where you want to be? Or it's, oh, I spent this kind of money with somebody and they didn't help me. I'm sorry to hear that. I really am. I've been down that road before. I know what it's like to give my money to somebody that didn't really want to help me. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to lose money. But I'll tell you what, it's not about the failures that matter. What matters is what you do after the failures happen. If I would have just given up, or if my students would have given up after a month or two or a couple of days or a couple of hours of just trying, they wouldn't even be where they are today. So at some point, you got to decide, make a decision. Are my goals really worth me putting this effort into it? Are my goals and my family worth me making some sacrifices? Or are my reasons more important? Are my excuses more important? Is my fear more important? Look, I'm not here to tell you what to do. But what I am here to tell you is that if you don't change how you think about your credit, how you think about your money, how you think about your future, how you think about your family, if you don't start thinking about that, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Your credit is going to stay the same. Your money is going to stay the same. Your relationships, your attitude, all of it is going to stay the same. So you can change all of that, but it has to start with you. I've got all of the resources that you can possibly need to get there. We actually have our Fly Credit University is an open enrollment. We have a discounted open enrollment right now. You can get a full-blown tuition on our Fly Credit University training for a little bit of nothing. $47 a month. Or if you want to get in on it for a year, you can get in on it on $297 a year. Thousands of dollars worth of value in there for a little bit of nothing. So there are some people that are going to watch this and they're going to say, well, she just wants us to get her a university. I do. Absolutely, I do. Because I know what it'll do for you. I know what it'll do for your life. I know what it'll do for your family. I know what it'll do for you. And I say that with much confidence and conviction because I know what it'll do for you. And I'm just waiting on you to decide whether or not you want to change your story. Because if you want to change your story and you want to start getting these credit cards, building this money team, if you want to start doing it, it's yours. It's already yours. All you got to do is claim it and work after it. Go for it. And I'm here to help you every step of the way. So if you want to get in on our Fly Credit University, we have open discount enrollment until the end of this month. After that, the price is going to go up and, you're just going to get left out. That's just the way that it is. But if you want to start improving your credit, if you want to start getting approved, if you want to start getting approved for these credit cards, taking those free trips, lowering your discount, lowering your rates, getting free stuff, enjoying life. I think that's what it's really all about. So I'll drop the links in the comments. If you are watching this on Facebook, share with some friends. Tell me what you learned today. If you're watching this on YouTube, I want you to share the video, hit that subscribe button, and I'm going to see y'all tomorrow because I have gotten a lot of questions about consolidating credit card debt. And here's the thing. I promote credit card a lot, but I do not promote credit card debt. And so the thing is this, right? Some of you are going to get credit cards and some of you are going to go crazy. You're going to charge them. You're going to go on vacations. You're going to have a lot of fun. That's cool. It's all right. But if you get into some credit card debt, me and you, we're going to have some words with each other. I'm not going to be happy about that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare you. So if you do fall into credit card debt, you'll at least know how to get out of it. And the first thing that I do not want you to do is consolidate. It's not what I want you to do. I had a young woman yesterday arguing me up and down, just arguing with me. And I don't argue with people. I let you think whatever you want to think. She was just arguing and everything, just upset because she's like, well, it takes too long to get to 700 credit scores. Take too long. I don't have anything on my credit. You're right. And that's the problem. Problem is that you don't have anything on your credit. And so whatever you do have on your credit, consolidating it isn't going to help. Consolidating it is actually going to create a bigger problem for you. And so tomorrow we're going to talk more about that. We're going to talk about that consolidation game and why you should not be doing that so that you can stay out of that trap, save more money, and really direct it into places that really build wealth, generational wealth and happiness. So I will see y'all tomorrow. You got some good information today. Just drop it in the comments. Let me know what you learned. And I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day. Bye.